to add your own writing before and in the midst of a piece of Shakespeare?
It's incredibly humbling. It's kind of like going to a beauty pageant and walking right up on stage and standing next to really attractive people and looking like a toad.
So this show obviously has some pretty interesting costumes. Did you find that there's a greater challenge in making these as opposed to making realistic costumes, or is it about the same?
I would say that these would be more difficult than realistic ones because they're challenging.
Allison, and she's like, I was like,
Because you can't just grab a shirt that matches. You have to have ideas to it. Like mine had to be flowy and long and look as if it would be a queen. Also, same with yours. And so I think there's a large amount of creativity that went into designing these costumes and making them.
Did you find that doing this show was more or less challenging with the amount of wigs that are being used for hair?
It takes a lot less time to get ready, so it's nice. So it's like, it took a lot of time and effort to get all the wigs ready, but in the end I think that's better just because it's going to be easier to get ready early in the morning.
By the intermission there was students.
Oh, they laughed. That's what I think.
Because
What are some similarities between you and Peter Quince, and what are some differences?
Most people I sass around I want to kill at one point or another during the day. So that would be a similarity. Difference, I wouldn't wear an animal around me.
What similarities do you find between your character in the show and your personality in real life? Are there any?
The black hearts match your lips.
She found Shakespeare frustrating, but so did I at one point in time, but I don't know. She's very different than the other Abby. I think she's my evil twin.
Would you say that playing the role of Puck is almost being just yourself? Is this the closest that your character that you have to play has ever been to yourself?
I don't know what you mean. I'm a very sophisticated, calm person, normally. Holly laughs. She doesn't think that's the way it is.
What are some of the differences you find between yourself and the character of Puck?
Well, I do this, and Puck does this.
Okay.
That's the only difference.
Okay. What do you feel it's like to play a woman?
it's kind of interesting because you know that it's automatically going to be a funny joke no matter what you do. But I don't know. It's really fun to get all the comedic timing out of it and play it to the hilt, and it's definitely something I'll probably never get to do again. So I'm enjoying it, to say the least.
Colin, what's it like to fill the shoes of a role that was once performed by actors like Richard Burbage? Do you feel like you have something to match up to in this role? Like, do you feel like you have a lot to live up to playing Bottom?
Well, I know Dick Burbage. Called him up on the phone. When I told him I got the part, it was an exciting day for me, but I didn't know how Dick would feel about it. Dick's very defensive about the role. He doesn't want saying to outshine him. It's kind of sad, really. So I called up Dick and I said, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Good. I got Bottom in Midsummer Night's Dream, and there was kind of a long, awkward silence. And I said, Dick, you're still there? He said, yeah. He said, way to go, man. Way to go. It meant a lot coming from him, especially having known Shakespeare. This is a direct direction from Shakespeare to Dick Burbage. So I feel like Shakespeare's actually giving me the direction by proxy.
Obviously, this is a different show because it's a traveling show. Have you found that it challenges you as a student director at all? Or are you still waiting for that challenge to happen?
I'm still waiting for it to happen because I haven't had to do very much.
How's the process been so far?
Really well. It's been a lot of fun to actually watch a show from beginning to end. Because usually I just come in for like 1 or 2 weeks before the performance, so I don't get to see as much progression. And I've been doing more on the technical side of this show. I've actually been making more costumes and stuff, rather than just painting the stage black, which is a lot more fun.
What have you learned being whatever you are for the show?
I've learned a lot about how to be backstage, like props and stuff. By the way, did people check their props? Everybody did everything, set up everything? Because the house is open. And anyways, yeah, that's what I learned.
Do you foresee any big challenges of transforming these props in order to travel with them? Do you think it'll be pretty easy?
I foresee them breaking every once in a while, but changing them? No, I don't think it's going to be too bad. I think we're responsible enough to make it work.
A couple of things to offer you, and I think that you've been doing a great job with the show. I've really enjoyed it. I think it's fine, but I don't think you can ever stop trying to make it even more effective. And I noticed a few things just kind of sitting up there, so I offer them to you as things, and some of this you've heard before. But number one, a really simple thing to do to make this story clearer is walk softer. People are tending to have heavy footfalls, and I know it's hard to know that you're doing it, but if you can make a conscious effort, everybody, whether you think that you're doing it great, but keep doing it more, to walk as gently as possible in the shoes that you have. It's amazing how one footfall over top of one word can kill either a joke or really interrupt the part of the story, and you're kind of set back trying to figure out what just happened. And I've been having the opportunity of watching the story through the eyes of the audience, seeing it, for the first time. Some people are aware of the story and they follow it and they can fill in the blanks and so forth, but it moves really fast, so we are assuming that they're kind of staying with us. But little things like that are helpful. Also, and I've said this before, but you can never pay attention to this too much. They're hearing this for the very first time. So those words that you're saying have to be clear, they have to be complete, fully sounded, and the ideas have got to be present. You've got to tell the story of you all and of A Midsummer Night's Dream, and all of that has to be clear for the very first time. Put yourself in their shoes and think about how you would be confused if suddenly all this flash of stuff was in your face and you were trying to stay up with it, and little things can get in the way. So what I ask you is just stay true to the character's journey, the story, and what's going on. I know there's a tendency sometimes to want to sneak your own things in there, your little originality pieces and stuff, to keep it interesting for you. However, what it does sometimes is exclude the audience, and it makes them kind of like check out and go, it's an in-joke and I'm not part of it, all right? So the main note I give to you is just stay true and clear to the story all the way through, okay? The language that you use, don't take any of it for granted. Shakespeare's written amazing stuff for you, and those words and those comparisons, if you buzz right through them, we miss it. We really miss it. Again, I'm just saying this because I think with still whatever, we have 18 more shows to go, we can always keep striving for a greater specificity and a precision that we can bring to the performance, and that will get the kids on board and keep them there. Remember, we're doing this for kids, right? Young ones who are hearing this for the very first time. And it's always important to always go back and remember the audience. I think sometimes we take it for granted and we get into it and we love it, and it's our time and we're out there, but we have to always remember that it's for them. It's a story. We're all storytellers working together to tell a story that they are following. And if we sacrifice some of that because of loud footfalls or rushing through words, then we're not doing the story justice. All right? So having said that, I think that you'll probably have the best show tonight of all of them. and it will be just as great, and if not better than the rest. And I've been very proud of the experience, and everybody's been having a great time. But I still think that we can do even better. So, all right? Have a good show.
How has being in your first Clarke performance changed you?